All right, welcome back to another episode of the Critics Collective. I'm Legacy Lingo. I have Lolo and Big J, and we're going to thank you guys for tuning in to this review of Back in Action, which is a Netflix original starring Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. But before we get into that, we want to go ahead and ask you guys if you could please, if you like what we're putting out for you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and hit the alert button to join the collective community and help this channel grow. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We just hit 300 today. We've been moving along pretty good in the last 30 days. Thanks to you guys. We want to thank you guys for supporting us, and we hope more of you join. All right, so we are talking about Back in Action, Netflix original, just dropped a couple of days ago, so I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. Let's go ahead and actually see what IMDb has as its synopsis. Hopefully, let's see, it's not going to be bad. Let's see if it's on point. IMDb has it as former CIA spies Emily and Matt are pulled back into espionage after their secret identities are exposed. Okay, so pretty much on point. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, accurate. All right, so I want to start with you, Lolo. Tell me your initial impression when you first came across this movie.
Well, I think this is the first big Netflix film of 2025, so I wouldn't necessarily say I was looking forward to it. Jamie Foxx has kind of been hit or miss lately, it seems like, and Cameron Diaz has been on a hiatus for the last 10 years. She's been doing the mom thing, so I was more excited to see her back in action to see, what she had in store, and hopefully they could maybe recreate a little bit of their chemistry from Annie, which I guess is almost 11 years old. A lot of people didn't love that movie, but I thought they had good chemistry in that movie. So does it live up to the hype? Let's see.
How about you, Big J? What were your thoughts when you first came across this movie?
I didn't know much about this movie. I didn't know it was coming out. I didn't know anything about it. Like Lolo told me the other day, "Oh, Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz are in a new movie," and I was like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." But looking at it, a good kind of spy action movie sounded like it might be fun. I was hoping it would be. I've liked Jamie Foxx in many things. I've liked Cameron Diaz in many things. They have not always been great, but often they are. So I had some hopes for it, but so
Well, I'm with you on that one. I knew about this, but not because of doing research or anything. It was actually just that the production was delayed when Jamie Foxx had his health scare. And then that's when they were talking about it, and they were halfway through production, and I was like, oh, so then I started keeping track of the situation. So when I first heard about the movie, I was excited for them to be back on screen together, actually, and I know that Netflix trying to get those two was gonna throw some money at it. So I was like, oh, okay, let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. And here we are now. So let's let's go ahead and get into the review. Though I'll start with you. Give me your highs and lows. How'd you feel about it?
The highs, I think there are a couple of laughs. It mostly relies on that Gen X, are we boomers yet? Are we not boomers yet? Type of humor. And Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz kind of interact with their very young children, their teenage children. And there's kind of some jokes there between the two groups, which I sadly now relate to. Apart from that, there's some good action sequences. I did think that you have to massively, massively suspend your disbelief on this one in terms of like physics and science and things like that, especially in the beginning and end of the movie. The lows, the CGI is not great. I don't know what the budget of this movie was, but the CGI did not look very good. Glenn Close desperately needs a new agent. She has been taking these movies where you're just like, why are you, like, you almost won an Oscar a couple of years ago. Why are you here? And not a terrific British accent on that one. And to me, this feels like the first massive scale film where you can always sort of tell like product placements, Coke, Transformers, whatever. There's tons of product placements in movies now. But this movie specifically felt like one massive scale commercial for the Oura ring fitness tracker, which is like the ring that the kid wears. And I clocked that. I was like, that's one of those fitness trackers. I hope they don't bring that into this movie the entire time, and they do. They never ever let you forget that the Oura ring exists. It's a massive part of the plot, and it just felt very pandering in that aspect. Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz don't have a lot of chemistry in this one together. They feel more like friends as opposed to a married couple, and I don't think they even kiss once in this movie. They might do some hugging. I don't think there's any big romantic chemistry there. So more lows than highs, but overall, I'd still say this is serviceable. It is much better than Four Christmases or Baywatch, which the director directed many years ago. And so that's got to count for something, right?
Absolutely. All right, Big J, tell me your thoughts, your highs and lows.
Similar to Lolo, I do think this movie has a couple of laughs here and there. It is trying to be more comedic than it is at times. I think Jamie Foxx got to start as a comedian. Cameron Diaz did a lot of comedy earlier in his career, and I think they were really trying to push that. It does, it's like a new take on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. There was also this old movie with Dennis Quaid in it, where there was like a family spy thing, and it kind of brings memories of that to it. Some of the action sequences are good. There are some entertaining action sequences, chase scenes, fight scenes, though they don't feel like there's a lot of stakes in them. A lot of times you're like, there's so much plot armor going on that it's like, you never feel anyone's at that big a risk going anywhere.
Yeah.
So it kind of knocks the emotional level of it down. There's, like I said, some bad CGI. There's a plane sequence that looks really bad early in the movie. Beyond that, again, lack of chemistry. I'll agree with Lolo there. Fist bumping, all that stuff. They just talk. They don't talk like they really know each other that well. And like as far as romantically, it's predictable as well. That's kind of a low. You kind of talk everything about it. They try to make a mystery out of it, and you know what's going on. Like you're like, oh, that guy, they're bad people. It's like they're like right away. It's like you know exactly who's going to be the villains in this movie, who's not. So a lot of lows in that, and it feels very generic. Like it's been there, done that with this type of action film. We've seen it a lot, and it never feels that high stakes. And they're basically chasing a MacGuffin for most of the movie. It's like, oh, let's chase the MacGuffin around. And the thing this MacGuffin does is that's what you really have to suspend your disbelief on. Like any object in the world would ever have the capability of doing this is beyond any type of rational things. And I don't mind suspending my disbelief, but they're pushing it with that one.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. So for me, actually, a lot of the stuff you guys said rings very true. I especially with the chemistry situation. But I'm gonna start with my highs. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I need sleep, whatever. But I actually laughed quite a few times. I thought that they misled me with the whole villain. I thought I knew what was going on. And then that when they actually did the big reveal, they got me with the switch they did earlier. I was like, oh, I really thought it was just cut and dry. This is the situation. I thought I did feel like it was very, very safe, family friendly. And I was just basically I don't know, I guess maybe I came in just expecting just to be it is what it is, along for the ride, and I kind of got exactly what I was looking for with this one. If I had I mean, I'm trying to force more highs, but to be honest, just because it didn't bother me as much, but I really don't have much positive to say about it, except I got what I was pretty much what I was looking for. So my lows, the budget itself, I still don't have numbers on what that was, but they did not throw as much money at it as I thought, or if they did, they gave it to the actors and they didn't put it into the production. The opening sequence was kind of an in my opinion, where most of the money went, and it wasn't fully utilized. And it left me thinking, okay, well, hey, this is how you're starting it. It's only got to end bigger, right? No, it didn't do that. There were moments where the music for some of the action sequences, it just didn't fit. And I get this is a family adventure friendly, but the way the final act came and the epic music that they were giving us was something that they probably should have just kept through the whole movie. I didn't understand why they were throwing in some of those classics. It just didn't. The energy didn't feel. I wasn't feeling it. It was throwing me off. Like why this song? When I should be paying attention to the action or things of that nature. I stopped and I was thinking like that's an interesting choice of music, I guess. And then yes, they did not kiss not once. There was only a little bit of a hint of chemistry with them for a moment, and then it shifted into something else, which was a little joke that I actually kind of giggled. I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, they definitely didn't feel like they were there was any passion or any chemistry there. The kids super annoying. I know that's a trend with teenagers, but it bothers me, and I think that's one of the things that shifted with me the most. I don't understand why we can't get a movie where they're more creative, where people are more upfront about what's going on, and then you have to be creative about keeping a conflict going from there. The situation they were in, whether you're a parent or not, I was really bothered every time that they took two steps in the opposite direction of the kids, especially considering where they were located. That was foreign to the kids and the situation that was in, and they were just like, yeah, go give me some M&Ms. Our lives are on the line, but yeah, come back with my change. I'm like, okay. Stuff like that was just driving me crazy. And I feel like, especially if you're really at risk, you would definitely want to be more upfront to avoid kids being kids that are creating situations. And I felt like that was a lack of creativity in the writing. They wanted to create situations to create more of suspense, conflict. And of course, if you like you said, there was no real threat, but still it was annoying that they would be so careless after what they did for a living. I was just like, you guys, you're so much better than this. And I know it's been 15 years, but anyway, I can go on about this. So
keep going.
that nature, I was just like, I just wanted them to be, smarter. I wanted them to be the elite agents that they once were. And just be creative around that with the kids and things of that nature. And then towards the England close. Yeah, I don't know. I knew when they wouldn't say who she was, who the grandmother was. I knew that they were trying to definitely give us a big reveal. So I was going through my list of names, like, okay, who could this be? And that was number 3 on my list. And I was disappointed I was right. I really wanted to be wrong. But I just knowing Netflix and they're trying to throw money at something, and I was like, it's gonna be a big face. I can tell by the way they're building it up. And then boom, that was number 3. And I was a little disappointed. I was hoping to be wrong, or hoping to just get somebody else in there that was really gonna be badass and not kind of just placed in there just for, the name itself is just elevating the roster. That's pretty much it.
Helen Mirren was busy.
That's probably what's going on. And that name was actually on my list as well. So yeah, this film was definitely I feel like they have left it at a point where they can potentially do another one, almost like a Spy Kids without all the a Spy Kids type of thing, without all of the gadgets and things of that nature. But they kind of hinted at that the family as a whole, now that everybody knows what everybody's role is, it might be a part of the next adventure. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll give it a shot, but
I went, no.
Yeah,
Sequel, really?
especially with the way it ended, I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, well, yeah, I guess we'll do this again. So
Cameron's like, I got a taste of that money, that Netflix money.
That Netflix
I'm
money.
back,
I
baby.
was like, well, maybe the next one will be better. Maybe they'll see this review and somebody will call me and ask me to look at the script. So Netflix, nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge.
All right, so let's get to the biggest part here. Let's go ahead and rate this in Critics Collective style. We give accolades from 0 to 5. 5 accolades being excellent, a must watch, highly recommended for all viewers. 4 accolades, good, worth watching, but has notable flaws. 3 accolades, average, some enjoyable moments, but lack significant impact. 2 accolades, below average, some redeeming qualities, but generally disappointing. 1 accolade, poor quality, not recommended, and 0 accolades, horrible, absolute trash. Unfortunately, we haven't had any as of yet for 2025. Let's see what we get on this one. Lolo, how many accolades are you giving this?
I think I'm going to go with 2. I debated between 2 and 3, but at the end of the day, I think that there just could have been more of everything. It was not an unpleasurable viewing experience, but at the same time, I can't really say I'm thrilled about the prospect of there being more of these. It's generic and fine. I could probably be persuaded to bump it up to a 3, but I don't want to.
And you won't be persuaded on this panel. I totally respect it. All right, Big J, where you at with how many accolades?
I'm in line with Lolo. I give it 2. It 3. If I could give it half, I would, but probably it's 2. Good, like I said, some good action sequences, especially the gas station scene. That was fun. But overall, I think it'll be unmemorable. Like, I will probably forget I watched this come Friday.
Yes, that is a great way to describe this, because I'm at a 2 as well. Even though I got pretty much what I was expecting, I will probably not remember this movie by the end of the week. I'll already be on to the next one. I won't be talking about it unless somebody else brings it up. That is a great way to describe this. It's definitely not memorable, and this was definitely an opportunity where they could have really been flashy and really just gave us, if you didn't want to put money into the CG and the composites and hiding the stuntmen, because they were standing out pretty obviously. The stuntman kept popping up. I was like, man, this guy's got a lot of face. I bet he's showing his family. Like, oh, there I go. So yeah, I would definitely. It's not gonna stick. This is just it's forgettable. But I mean, I still enjoyed a little bit of what I got, but I have to give it a 2. This is not something I'm gonna rush to watch again or nudge people like, hey, you got to see it. But I do want to make sure that if you're watching this review and you have seen it, that you get in our comments or go watch it and form your own opinion, and then come back in the comments. Let us know if you agree, disagree. We want all of that energy, all of that communication. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure you do so. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the alert button, and boost our page, join the collective community. All right. So this was what is this again? Back in Action, Netflix original, which is available now. So I already forgot in the review.
Already forgot.
I already in the middle of the review. I was like, what is this again? Yeah. So if that doesn't let you know what you're getting into, but then with this review, you can temper your expectations. It might be one of the better movies you've seen in 2025 so far. It might be, depending on your expectations. Yeah. All right. So I want to thank you guys, Big J, Lolo, for joining me. I'm Legacy Lingo, and we will see you guys on the next one.